Hey YouTube, it's Kidneydog. They came out with the breakthrough packs finally, officially. Not a pre-release this time, but actually an on-time release kind of thing. So I do have a number of those packs that I purchased. I kind of saved up all of the tokens that I earned over time, so that I'd have a whole bunch of these. I'd be able to afford a whole bunch of these booster packs all at once to do kind of a big hooray Pokemon breakthrough release opening kind of thing. And I do have a couple older things I've just held on to. I tend to let them build up over time, so that these openings are, more than just a tiny little thing. So let's go ahead and get started. I do happen to compete in a local league thing nearby using to play Pokemon events, and that's a lot of fun. And I have no idea what this is going to get me. Poliwhirls, Poliwags. Oh, that's cool. I really like the Politoed. Ignore all colorless energy and the attack cost of your Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and Poliwrath's voice. Doesn't include himself, which is unfortunate, but that does mean that, for example, the Poliwhirl finishing blow, free cost. Doesn't cost anything, so that's kind of cool. Kind of gimmicky. I don't think it's terribly strong. What do we get? Flash Fire. Okay. Come on. So they did have, with all the updates, like I can't skip animations and things like that anymore. But at least the drum roll's still gone. Nope, it's back. The drum roll is back. Yay, Skunk Tank. There. Adaptive evolution, so you can evolve really quickly. So nothing too special there. We're not going to bother to get more. I have lots of things to get through. So what was from this one? Ooh, I happen to like Slugma. Slugma's one of my more favorite Pokemon. That discarding energy is not too great, but the new fire energy that stays attached, like even if you discard it, like it comes back, that's pretty cool. So I don't mind that. Live Coal and Flamethrower again, and the Mag Cargo is pretty awesome. So you can do 30 up to 80 damage for 2, or just 80 straight up. So that's some decent fire damage. There's not too many decent fire Pokemon, it seems like. And Tournament Chest, which I got for like a random thing. Gardevoir Spirit Link and more tokens. That's cool. But I can't use the Spirit Link for anything because I don't think I have a Mega Gardevoir. XY, just a little booster. We got Skidoos. That's cool. I'll go away, drumroll. Ooh, Swallow. Turn, you may have your opponent switch his or her active Pokemon. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like things that give you some board control. I don't know why it asked me to go get more. And I clearly have plenty of these. What did I get? Inkay. Fairy Energy. Eerie. Oh, fine. I'll get rid of that. Now Swallow. Oops. So now you can just put your mouse over it. You don't have to right click on it like I always do. So hey, cool. I have an Electrode to go with the Voltorbs that I have lots of. Ooh, we can keep the energy down on your opponent, but it doesn't do any damage. 40, so it'd be 80 against an Yveltal EX. I'm still looking for the ways to take on those Yveltal EXs. Grr. I hate them so much. Let's open those last, so we can just do all those back to back to back. Furious Fist. No, Flash Fire. Flash Fire. Come on, Pyroar. Pyroar EX. I mean, Pyroar. Not EX. Yes! That is exactly the card that I wanted to get. Although I don't know if I have any Litleos. This is how you beat an Yveltal EX. You put down a Pyroar, which can't take damage from basic Pokemon. And it's GG, game over. Damage done is reduced. That's a high cost to only do 40. And Shatter, meh. I'd rather have the Beartic. But the Pyroar is pretty sweet. I am happy to get another Pyroar. I wish I had more of those in real life. They even stopped the Xerneas decks and stuff. Like, they're pretty good. Supposedly Donphan decks take them out pretty easily, but I haven't run into any decks like that, really. Delcatty, not too worried about. I haven't seen a lot of these. Discarded Grass, attached to your opponent. Ram, that's cool because it's like a guaranteed discard. There's not a lot of that. Return to your hand, doesn't do much damage. Flip coin, confuse, tend to everybody pretty much. 20 damage for tails. 30 does 30 more if they're affected by something. Duo Blade, which is a new card for me. Whoa, false swipe. Flip a coin. If heads, put damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon until its HP is 10. That's really sweet, because that's basically infinite damage. That shuts down abilities. Lantern, cool. Lets you avoid damage for 2, or do 80 and 20 to itself for 3. I really like the Dive Ball. I don't know why it says it's new. It comes in the basic blue deck. I'm really fond of the Dive Ball for water decks, because you can just go find a water Pokemon. It's not like limited by power, but the Duo Blade is pretty sweet as far as steel type Pokemon go. Roaring Skies. Again, a lot of these are just like prizes that I've gotten for playing online. Come on, what do we got? Before the drum, dang it. Halucha, nothing too special there. I always see this card a lot. Look for 3 colorless Pokemon. So if you're running a colorless deck, that could be really cool. Like, you know, a Rayquaza EX kind of thing. Talonflame. Draw 3 cards. You may switch this Pokemon with one of your benched. This Pokemon does 20 damage to itself. Ooh, 2. So 2 cost to do 90. If you put down like a hard charm on it, then you can block that 20 damage you do to yourself, I think. I'm not sure if it works that way, to be honest. Got another Voltorb. And Shed Ninja, he's cool. So you can put down, you use Cursed Rain, you do 10 damage to basically everybody. And Hopeless Scream will basically never be useful. Ever. Just because you only have 30 hit points to start with. So let's do the small 5-card decks to start off. And then we'll move up to the full ones that I got as a part of a reward for doing that pre-release. They all came with those little codes inside. What do we get? All new stuff. Oh cool, I got a Braviary. Wish. Flip a coin of heads, search your deck for a card, put it into your hand. That's nice, so you can go grab any card you want. So that's really powerful. I mentioned this with the real cards. I don't like the new Meowth. No, it's terrible. I hope the Persian's wonderful or something. Heal 20 from a Pokemon, only 40 hit points. It's really low. When you place Pokemon to your hand, evolve one of your Pokemon. Oh, when you play this from your hand to evolve, you may leave both active Pokemon confused. So it's guaranteed confusion. And there's guaranteed poison and non-retreat with Poison Ring. And then Braviary, 2 for 30, 100 hit points, and 80 times the number of heads between 2 coins. So 80 up to 160. That can be a lot. It's pretty high cost, low HP. I'm not terribly impressed with Braviary, to be honest. Okay. What do we get this time? More new stuff. Chespin. Noibat. I'm not terribly impressed with the Noibat. Low HP, low damage, healing, meh. The Chespin letting you look for energy. It's pretty useful. Seed Bomb for 30. Fury Swipes, so up to 30 damage for the Pansage. The Pansage, Pansear, and Simsear, I think. Or Pansear, whatever their one was. All have pretty much the same attack. Quilladin, so I got Chespin Quilladin, that's nice. And Simipour. 3 grass energy from your discard to your hand. 10 damage times the number of cards in your hand. Oh, that's cool. So you can discard like a whole bunch of energy and then like use that to get 3 in your hand one turn, and that's at least 30 damage on hand playing the next turn. I've seen some people do some crazy stuff where they absolutely fill their hand. Oh cool. Yes, I got a Noivern break. That's awesome. I got a break one. Hooray. So Moonless Madness, guaranteed confusion from a dark type. Awesome. And 30 for 1 energy. It's not, I hate discarding energy, but it's not too bad. The Sparkling Induction, I'm thinking there's got to be something really nice, like a Magnezone break or something to make this worthwhile. Because otherwise, with a true cost of 1, like, hooray, I can move around something that does 20 damage, like, not worth terribly much. Aromatherapy, 30 from each of your Pokemon, so it's like Rough Seas, but, it costs an attack. Or Magical Leaf, 20 more, and heal 20 if you get heads. So you can do up to 40 and heal 20. To be honest, the Leafeon from Furious Fists is better than that. And of course they break Pokemon, which is awesome, although sideways, which is like really frustrating because now you gotta like play the whole game with your head turned sideways. Awesome thing about them is you retain the attack's abilities, weaknesses, resistance, and retreat costs of its previous evolution. Just the previous evolution? Okay, so just one stage down. So I guess you can't, like, none of the Noibat stuff carries over. And then Synchro Woofer, so you do, if you match cards with your opponent, you do 150 damage. Which if you have something that makes you and your opponent draw a new hand of exactly so many cards, that's kind of where you can use that to your advantage. Here's the Mr. Mime with the bench barrier, which can help you protect your bench from all forms of damage. Juggling, man, it's really for the ability that you bring him along. Disorderly Flip, so up to 440 damage. Heads, put a card from discard into your hand. That's cool, you can get stuff back from the discard pile, including Pokemon. And here's the other chest spin, heals 20 from himself and does 30. So the chest spins aren't terribly impressive in my opinion. High cost to do relatively low damage for low hit points. Oh, okay, I didn't have to flip it over this time. Active Pokemon's paralyzed, 20 damage. If the defending Pokemon tries to attack during your opponent's next turn, flip a coin. If tails, it does nothing. So she's got a lot of hit points though for a basic. 80 hit points, but 30 damage for 3 energy. Man, it's gonna take a while to start up. 4 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your hand. Sweet. So that's a lot of energy recovery right there from that new supporter, Fisherman. And reserve ticket. Flip a coin. If heads, search your deck for a card, shuffle your deck, then put that card on top of it. So I guess you just have to wait for the next turn. Like, I'd rather have something that puts the card into my hand than have something that puts it on top of my deck. And it's not terribly useful. Let's be honest here. Yes! Typhlosion! Cool, I like Typhlosion, he's cool. Can't play item cards from his or her hand during his or her next turn, so there's an item shutdown. Potential knockoff energy from an opponent. 20 damage, and 20 to one of my benched Pokemon. I don't care for that. 30 damage and 20 to myself, like that's barely a win. And then Suplex does 40 plus 20 for each of the retreat costs. So a Pinsir on a Pinsir would do 80 damage. That's better, but it's 3 cost. Not terribly impressed. What's Typhlosion got for me? Whoa. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck. This attack damage does 80 times the number of energy cards you discard. So you could just wind up losing 5 cards and do no damage. Or you could wind up doing 400 damage. And it only costs 1. Like that's an amazingly risky game to be playing. But it's so tempting. That's cool though. Flare Destroy, discard an energy attached to this Pokemon, then discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Heck yes. Run the special fire energy on Typhlosion, discard, it comes back, discard, it comes back. Meanwhile, your opponent just constantly loses their energy. That's sweet. I need some Cyndaquils and Quilavas now. Mewtwo Spirit Link, and now I've got Noiburn, so I got Noibats and Noiburns. Awesome. Shuffle your hand to your deck, then draw the number of cards equal to the number of cards in your opponent's hand. Oh, so you can use Tuning 1 round to try and match your opponent, and then just try and make sure you play the same number of cards they do. Or you could just use Air Slash and do 120 damage straight up. But you have to discard an energy? Yep, you have to discard an energy. So that's not great, but if you're in the lead, actually, you can usually afford to do that. 2 damage on... That's terrible. And the Whimsy Tackle. I like Cubone. Marowak happens to be my favorite Pokemon. I like Cubone and Marowak, they're my favorites. But I really can't count on them to do much. Flail. 10 times the number of damage counters on it. Ice Edge. 30 more damage if head, so up to 40. And 30 plus a sleep. Nice. I like automatic status. Until the end of next turn, can't play any supporter or stadium cards. Cool, a supporter shutdown. That's pretty nice. And Deep Freeze. Either paralysis or confusion for your opponent and 70 damage. Cool, I like Vanillux. 130 hit points. It's not half bad. What do we get? Bronzor and Vanillish. So the Bronzor is pretty cool when they have one card left. He does 70 damage, but really that was only nice during the pre-release tournament. Not so much anymore. Automatic sleep again. I love that. The Granbulls. So I really want to make a deck that runs around Granbull and Slurpuff, I think is the right name. The Slurpuff's ability preventing you from having status effects on Pokemon with fairy energy attached. So that means the Granbull can tantrum round after round after round, just throwing out 120 damage, and there will be no confusion. So that can be a really cool effect. And if you want, you can always just start discarding cards from your hands, from your opponent's hand, if you happen to get lucky coin flips. So I think the Granbull could be pretty sweet. Elgium, Special Energy Rainbow. That's pretty nice. Yeah, I saw the card to the far right. I'm getting to it. During your next turn, this Pokemon's Psych Up attack does 20 more. Meh. Any energy. And does 1 damage when you put it on. What does Vanillite cost? So you can reduce damage or do 20 damage. Is this the right one? Oh, this is the other one. Well, I got a Mewtwo EX, but it's nothing like yours. Yeah. So when we had the Breakthrough cards pre-release, Megawrite got a whole bunch of Mewtwo EXs, but they're the ones that power up like crazy stupid fast, where you put an energy down and they do 30 damage right off the bat. Instead mine does, I'm still very happy about it. It's pretty cool. I got a Mewtwo EX, and I like the card and the art on it. It's pretty awesome. 30 damage. Any damage done during the next turn is reduced by 30, and Cyburn for 120. I would really rather have the other one though. Even though it's got 170 hit points, it's like, that's nice as that is. The other one's way better. Spirit Link, awesome. Nap, okay. It's not half bad. Whoops, shoot. I can't afford to get more, so we need to go back to collection and continue these pack openings. Which I'm just down to these, which are the bigger packs. So now I'll have 2 special cards per pack, I think, instead of just the one like you usually get those little packs. Yeah, sweet. Okay, and I got the other one. Ha! Now I've got the good Mewtwo EX. So real quick, Zora, discard a random card from your opponent, discard an energy attached to this Pokemon. Meh. 20 damage, 10 to itself, no thank you, and 40 damage. 10 damage, up to 30 more, that's pretty nice. I like that Fennekin. There's the 30 damage Panpour. Houndoom Spirit Link, cool, I like Houndoom. Stunfisk. Stunfisk is pretty cool. So, if any of them are knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack during his or her last turn, does 80 more damage. So, really, if you can get 2 energy down on a Stunfisk, you can take out an Yveltal the following round. You do 200 damage, 20 plus 80 times 2, 200. So, I like the Stunfisk as far as an electric Pokemon is considered. 110 hit points and 20 up to 100. Or 80 damage, like that's not bad at all. Behem? Oh, what was the trick to this? 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, times the amount of energy attached to that Pokemon. So if they're powering up an Yveltal behind on the bench, you can use Mind Bullet to do 20 times however much energy they've thrown down on that Yveltal. So that's super nice. I actually really like Behem and his previous form. We got another one of our Noivern breaks, which is cool, but like 130 hit points, great. Takes 3 rounds to get it out there, and then I'm just going to use the other one's attack anyways. But this is the awesome Mewtwo EX. So 170 hit points, just like the other one, but check that out. 30 damage times the number of psychic energy attached to this Pokemon. If I run a deck of nothing but psychic energy, round 1, 30 damage. Round 2, that's 60 damage. Like, that power is up faster than an Yveltal EX. And then the other attack, Damage Change, where you can switch all the damage counters on this Pokemon with those on your opponent's active Pokemon. So even if they get you to like, 70 hit points remaining, you can just push it all on top of them one round. It's like a clean sweep. It's super nice. And for some reason, Mewtwo's weak to Psychic type. I don't totally agree with that, but sure. Oh man, I am having some good luck. Haha, and I got the Mega Mewtwo EX. Yes! Although I got the Fighting type one, not the Psychic type one, but that's still pretty sweet. Like I said, the Pan's here. 30 damage. So the Assault Vest. Any damage done to this. Any damage done to this Pokemon, this card's attached to by Pokemon that have a special energy attached is reduced by 40. That's super nice. That's a lot of damage reduction. This is the fire energy I talked about, the burning energy. If this card is discarded by an attack of the fire Pokemon this card is attached to, attach this card from your discard pile to the Pokemon after attacking. So you discard it, and then at the end of your turn it comes right back. It's pretty awesome. Judge, shuffle his or her hand and draw 4 cards. That works really well with the Break Noivern. The Braviary, which I don't care too much about, and the Mega Mewtwo EX. 150 damage, and what is that? Any stadium card in play does 50 more damage, and this attack's damage isn't affected by resistance or any effects of your opponent's active Pokemon. So that's 150 up to 200 if there's a stadium card down, 230 hit points. It's pretty sweet, but I'll probably just be using the Mewtwo EXs, because they're crazy powerful. And I got our Mewtwo EX. Yes, that's 3 Mewtwo EXs. From less than 20 packs or so. That's a lot of packs, don't get me wrong. But that's super nice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm happy about that. Force a switch. 30 times the damage for each colorless in the retreat cost of your Swinub, Piloswine, and Mamoswine. So if you have like a herd of them, okay, that's cool. Staryu, 10 times the number of heads, you can flip as long as you can, and shuffle your deck, draw 7 cards, or 30 damage, and if you have the same number of benched, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Cool, so that's actually a guaranteed paralysis. There's not too many of those out there. I happen to really like that. And again, just super awesome Mewtwo, and I'm having really good luck. I'm even getting like full art and secret art cards. I wish I could open real cards this well. I really do. My luck is just not with me for real cards. I get stuff like that. With real cards, this is the kind of thing I get. Which isn't too bad. 80 damage, or 80 hit points, 20 damage for 1, or 40 damage. Not blocked by resistances and stuff for 2. That's not too bad. There's the Pansage, and the Heavy Boots. If the retreat cost of this card attaches 3 or more, you get 20 HP and can't be confused. Cool. Prevents confusion. And Bridget. Search your deck for 1 basic Pokemon EX or 3 basic Pokemon. There you go, and now I can start digging out my Mega Mewtwo's. Although really, why would you bother to run a Bridget when you could just run a Pokemon fan club and get 2 of your EX Pokemon out instead of 1? So really, I'd rather have the Pokemon fan clubs. Goldeen. Smeargle. I didn't know he was in there. Cool. Teddiursa, 30. And Goldeen, 20 and 10 to itself. Yay. Cool, I got our BKM and I got our Grand Bullet. Makes me pretty happy. Pompous Punch lets you discard a card from your opponent's hand, and his attack's not too great. What's his ability? Second Coat. Once during your turn, you may switch a basic energy card attached to your active Pokemon with a different type of basic energy card from your discard pile. You may switch? Okay, so I guess if you're running more than 1 type, that could be useful because you can just put down anything you want and then like switch the right type out onto it. That's pretty cool. I like that. Snover, awesome. And I got a Houndoom EX. Yes. Oh, I'm having such good luck. Powder Snow, automatic sleep, awesome. I happen to love that. Double Smash, 2 coins, 30 damage times the number of coins, up to 60. Their attack doesn't really follow up, but I bet the Abomasnow is probably pretty good. Wild River, switches one of your bench, not great. Call for pals. Look for as many Starling in your deck as you want. Town map lets me look at my prize cards. Nice. That's pretty cool. And then the Go-Goat. 10 damage and 30 to one of the bench. And then Horn Leech for 90 and heal 30. 120 hit points. I really like Go-Goat and Skidoo. I think that's pretty cool. I could see me changing my Grass Lightning deck that has Dragonite in it to have Go-Goats and Skidoos in it. I think they'd kind of go well with that. Cool. So I can make it evolve now without having to worry about ending my turn. And I got the Ghastly, so now the Haunters are actually useful. And you'll notice both the Haunters and the Ghastly set you up for poison. I happen to have the actual Gengar card, and if your opponent's poisoned, it's actually really, really good for you. So what does Houndoom have? Discard 2 cards from your opponent's deck. Okay. And 50, attach a fire energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. Awesome! So Houndoom EX is not a card that just throws out huge damage. It's a card that, like, can really help you get fire energy down quickly. That's awesome, because usually fire Pokemon are like all about discard. And it's really cool that there's one that's like all about getting more out. Ooh, different Noibat. I haven't seen that one before. And I got the other Mega Mewtwo EX. So I got a Mewtwo EX, I got the other Mewtwo EX, I got a Mega Mewtwo EX, and I got the other Mega Mewtwo EX. And a other Mewtwo EX while I was at it. So I got basically every powerful Pokemon I could have wanted, and that makes me really happy. I did not have that luck when I was opening real packs. That's awesome. Potential to remove energy, so I'd rather run this Noibat than the other Noibat if I was making a deck around that. Double Stab, 20 damage, or draw 2 cards. Meh. Snubble's pretty cool because you can switch your opponent's active Pokemon around and do Bite for 40. 70 hit points is not half bad either. And then we've got Giovanni, the new supporter. Draw until you have 5 cards in your hand, or during this turn you can do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon, which is cool. Search your deck for a trainer card, reveal it, put it into your hand. So that's cool. Let's go dig up a trainer card that you want. There's, I guess it's saying it's new because I've got like the shiny dragon symbols in the back. It's holographic to some degree. And the other Mega Mewtwo EX, Psychic Infinity. So it does 30 more damage, times the event energy attached to both Pokemon. So you might be wondering why you'd want, you know, at first you're like, well, the other one was 30 damage times however much you had. First off, cost is 2, instead of cost is 1. However, I can run any color I want with that. That's 30 damage, that's 10 plus 30 for however many energy I have, any type. And it's number of energy attached to me and you. So goodbye, Evaltals. Goodbye. I'm going to be running some serious Mewtwo EX decks as soon as I can after this, and crushing people with all of the power-up potential of Mewtwo EX. Which I imagine everyone else is doing the same thing, since apparently everyone's opening cases with that in it right now. I mean, I am. And there's the Mega Houndoom. Just to finish things off. So I got a whole bunch of EX Pokemon, and I got a Mega Evolution for every EX Pokemon I think I opened. I don't even remember all the wonderful things that I opened. That's so cool. Mirror Bearer, so you can hold out forever, 100 hit points. That's really nice. So I could see writing a Wobbuffet Mewtwo EX, or the Wobbuffet's just there to draw time, and the Mewtwo EX is just there to get powerful. Parallel City, so you can either limit the number of Pokemon on your opponent's bench to 3, but when you do that, then any damage done by a fire, grass, or water on your side is 20 less, or you can turn the card the other way, and your opponent's fire, water, and grass Pokemon do 20 less, but you can only have 3 Pokemon on your bench. So it's a skillful card, unless you're running a deck that doesn't have fire type in it. So the Mega Houndoom, Inferno Fang. You may discard all fire energy attached to this Pokemon and do 80 more damage if you do so. So after all of that talk about it being great for building energy, there you go, 80 to 160 if you drop it all. However, cost is 2, Blacksmith picks up 2. So Inferno Fang, Blacksmith, Inferno Fang, Blacksmith, Inferno Fang, Blacksmith. So that's really sweet, that combo that's going on there. And that looks like that's it. That's it for all of the packs I have to open. That was really, really sweet. Can I sort by, like, Oh, I could do this. Oh, okay. It's not really what I thought it would do. I guess I was looking for like a way to sort it. Yeah, we can do that. And see all the things I got. That's really cool. Awesome. Well, I should be recording and putting more stuff up there, because I mean, look at this. Houndoom EX, Mega Houndoom EX, Mega Mewtwo EX, Mega Mewtwo EX, Mewtwo EX, Mewtwo EX, Mewtwo EX, Noivern, Break Noivern, which I did manage to get the Break Noivern from the real cards. And I got a Typhlosion, which makes me happy, even though I don't have Cyndaquil or Quilava. So I'll have to dig through those. And I might give up on the Yveltal counter with Dedenne, which, for anyone, in case you happen to be wondering what I was talking about, I am talking about cards I don't own. Dedenne. Not that one. I guess there's a new one from Breakthrough. Yeah, I guess there's a new one from Breakthrough. Anyways, the one that I was talking about, which I sadly do not own, is this Dedenne, which does 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So those Yveltals, people tend to be really greedy and they put 4 or 5 energy down. 5 energy down would be 100. So if they have 5 energy down on their Yveltal, you throw down a little Dedenne, you put 1 energy of any type, so you can mix this in with any deck. It doesn't have to be an electric deck. Any deck, you put the Dedenne in it, you put 1 energy on the Dedenne, and their Yveltal's gone. Their Yveltal EX with 170 hit points melts to a fairly common Dedenne. 70 hit point, 1 energy cost, energy short, which is really sweet. And then once the Dedenne is out there and the Yveltal EX is gone and you need other more useful stuff, you run entrainment and go pick up whatever it is that you wanted off your bench. The 70 hit points will definitely keep it alive long enough against most things to be useful. So they're from the Furious Fist deck, and I really wanted to get a whole bunch of Dedenne. You can see I marked it there, so that I could actually like crush the Yveltal decks with these little itty bitty fairy mice. I thought that'd be hilarious. But I have terrible luck, and I can open packs with Mewtwo EXs in it, but I couldn't open a single pack with a Dedenne in it. So that'll pretty much do it. Thanks for watching the pack opening. And I hope you guys have as much luck with your pack as I had with my packs. They did change the way the Pokemon game plays a little bit. I don't like that you can't skip the animations now, but they're much faster and it's more pleasant to play. So, good job, Pokemon. I really like the new stuff. And I'll see you guys around. Later.